days following her daughter's disappearance. Anthony is accused of killing her toddler daughter, Kaylee. Carson Chambers is following this riveting case in Orlando. And Carson, I believe today, those who once lived with Casey took the stand. Is that right?
Right, Linda, and those friends and roommates took us back to 2008 when little Kaylee was missing. They say Casey never let on that anything was wrong. The photos of Casey Anthony partying in an Orlando nightclub are infamous. They've drawn the public's outrage and scorn. A mom dancing on a stage with her friends on a Friday night while her little girl Kaylee was reportedly missing.
She was happy, seemed like a nice person to be friends with.
We heard from friends who were there that night, including now 22-year-old Jamie Relander, who seemed embarrassed about the photo because she's in it.
Do you recognize yourself in that photograph?
Yes.
You can take your finger and you can circle where you are.
Relander was a shot girl serving liquor to club patrons. She says she doesn't remember Anthony acting anything but carefree.
Did you ever notice anything about anything wrong with her demeanor? That she was upset?
No.
Or crying?
No.
Or sad?
No.
And then there were Anthony's apartment roommates, where she stayed with her boyfriend.
She seemed like a fun party girl.
Those roommates say they knew about Kaylee.
At any time that she was living in Europe.
One roommate says Casey told him Kaylee was with the nanny at Disney World or the beach.
She would say that she talked to Kaylee on the phone and that she was excited.
They also say Casey always stepped outside of the apartment for private phone calls, but her nightlife at the club was very public. These are the photos, state's evidence, that prove it. And for the last hour and a half, we've been listening to the person who was closest to Anthony at the time in 2008. Her former boyfriend testifying today. It's a story we're working on for 6 o'clock. Live in Orlando, I'm Carson Chambers, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Carson. In their opening statements, the defense claimed that Casey Anthony had been sexually abused by her father and brother. And that defense is not sitting well with survivors of sexual violence and their advocates. Coming up at 5:30, why they say this is making them look like liars. Plus, former federal prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Stephen Crawford will be joining us in the studio to break down the case. And by the way, we are streaming the trial live for you on abcactionnews.com.